So Cee-Lo on IG, Cee-Lo Green of the famed Goody Mob and Charles Barkley, and he's had a great individual, just solo artist career. Well, there was a post that he made on Instagram that said, let me make sure I got the right quote. I'll make sure I read it right. It says, "Laugh out loud. Do y'all know my label and management asked me to not lose?" Wrote in the caption. They said no with like 3 or 4 O's. It's your look. What do y'all think about that? So there's probably an answer that would have been received differently, maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago ish, somewhere in there, versus now. What do you guys feel about that? Just when you see it and hear him say that his management team and the people around him did not want him to lose weight because of who he is and who he's become as he is. What do y'all think about that? Jay Moore, I'll come to you first.
I think there is pressure to maintain an image that you're buying public, when people actually did buy records, or you're streaming public, or however you want to put it now, is familiar with. It sounds crazy, but, there were some people who, were not happy with Jazmine Sullivan when she lost a lot of weight. Not they weren't happy about her music, but it was like, oh, represented for the big girls. You know what I'm saying? How you going to lose all this weight? And if people get used to seeing you a certain way, even if it has to do with not necessarily your weight, it could be something as simple as your hairstyle. Like, say they're used to seeing some singer with dreads, and then they decide to cut and get the bald head. They're like, well, wait a minute, we got to reestablish you with the public. Branding.
If Lil Wayne got a Boosie fade, that would throw everybody off.
Branding is so much a part of, everyone wants to just talk about it being about the music, and yes, that is it, but it really is about branding. And so whether you lose weight, you gain weight, you decide to change your hair, you decide to change how you dress, on a regular basis, people get used to seeing you some kind of way, and so that's what is really, there's a level of pressure, and like there's a fly in here, that's why I'm doing that. But no, but the thing is, brother, it's not just like, because I think this is a certain instance where we hear about a man, but I really feel for the women who are in the music industry, because I know the pressure is incredible on them, because like, if you're known for being the glamorous chick, no one wants to see you not in full face, in top designer. If you just say, oh, I'm going to come out and I'm with no makeup, and then just wear a jean outfit, that's going to drive the people at your record label crazy. Just like when, if, say, and I'm not trying, I know, people want to get on Lizzo, and like we've had our criticism here, but say she really decided she wanted to lose 100 pounds. There'd be people who would be critical of her, like saying body positivity all the way over here, and like, be happy with you being big, and be flying, be big. And if she lost weight, they'd be like, well, what about all that body positivity stuff you were talking? Like, but at the same time, if, someone like Megan Thee Stallion, say she gained 40 pounds, like, they would be on her something serious. So whatever image you've cultivated and people have become comfortable and familiar with, these record companies are going to want you to maintain that, and it doesn't matter what it is.
Check this out though. Candy from Escape responded and said, I don't know what you look like skinny. People just look good with the belly. Was a quote, and he replied, "Oh, thanks." So Cee-Lo's not necessarily pressed about it, but it's just the idea of someone saying, "Nah, man, stay." Yeah, that somebody would just bring that up. Lone, what were your thoughts after reading that initially?
It's weird.
Did you have any?
I mean, Jay's points are, those are great points. People do get stuck on images, and and it's weird that it's like factored into like a contract or something, though. I guess I would be curious as to more so of the details of, like, is it Is it them telling him not to lose weight as a suggestion, or is it telling him that he can't lose weight because it's in like a contract? That's my question, I guess.
I think it's more. I think it's more along the line of to Jay Moore's point about just who he's become and branding, and from that standpoint, I think it's strictly just that. I don't think it's contractual, or any of that. The way I took it, the way I read it.
Maybe he needs new label and new management if they don't want him to lose weight and to potentially, I don't know.
Maybe he just needs good product.
Well,
yeah,
he
that
usually
too.
put out good product though. So,
I mean, because you
Cee-Lo
gotta
don't miss
factor
too much.
in. You got to factor in. Everybody knew it was a big Luther and a small Luther. Either one of them was gonna give you them hits. It didn't matter whether it was big or small. And he came up in the game during the time where you pretty much had to abide by rules in order to sell records, and he overcame that and still did his thing. So in today's day and age, Cee-Lo using that as an excuse, or not necessarily as an excuse, because I can see it being said. He has to actually
taking it light though, bro.
Okay, well, you got to produce product at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless of your image, because I mean, Michael Jackson is another one. If you were following Michael Jackson his whole career, he looked nothing like he did when he started at the end of his career, and all his fans stayed with him because he had that product. He was the king of pop. He did his thing.
Man.
So I mean, your product has to speak for itself at the end of the day. Even with some of the women, the thing that happens with them, I believe, is they come in the game with a certain image, and they may not want to keep upholding the image that they decided to come into the game with, but that's probably on them too. You know what I'm saying? If you got to be true to yourself from the get-go in order for people to accept you, and unfortunately that may not be exactly what happens as far as being accepted, but that's going to garner you more points at the end of the day.
Your Michael Jackson point is spot on, because Butterflies and Break of Dawn and You Rock My World, all them records went. Mike ain't look nothing like, to your point, Thriller Mike. You know what I'm saying? So, but it didn't matter because all
was
those
a different
joints.
Mike every album.
That's true. That's a good point. I didn't think about it like that. You're right, especially with Luther, because both Luthers had heat. Am I wrong, or am I missing something? I thought they both had heat, like good, like high quality heat. Both of them.
Absolutely.
But even with Luther, when you talk about, he had heat, this was the video era, but so much of what we knew Luther for was the vocals. We weren't there to we weren't there to look at Luther. We were there to hear Luther sing. There are some artists out here where it may be 50-50. We're there to look at them, but hey, we're also there for you to have a certain presentation. I mean, when you think about somebody like Mariah Carey, who has an immaculate voice, she is also very much into how she is presented every time she's on television, or any visual medium. So but once again, that goes back to what I said about the pressure. Sure, we're talking about Cee-Lo as an example, but the pressure for
she's been missing the bar. She's been missing the bar vocally though on these shows.
Yeah, I've seen I've seen certain things where I'm like, okay, but like, we still can't say, like, when we heard Vision of Love, it wasn't like, oh, she's just some, cute light-skinned girl. She had the vocals to stand up to just being where we were there for the vocals. Like, because, when you see her perform, she's a great singer, but, she can't really rely on those dance moves either. Some girls got to have that. They got to have such a visual performance that it overwhelms you. Because hey, the vocals and the actual singing talent aren't really there. It really think about is a weird balance that that a lot of artists have to deal with, because like everyone has to bring something different to the table.
Think about it, like from a branding standpoint, like I couldn't imagine, and I have yet to see this brother in concert, but I actually want to see him at some point. I just don't know where I'm gonna sit at and how much a ticket's gonna cost, but I actually want to see a Chris Brown concert. Like I couldn't imagine Chris Brown just performing and singing and not going through all the routines and the dancing. Like, that's a part of the brand. He's great at that. Plus,
I've seen one.
I hadn't seen him live yet. I would like to see Chris Brown live. I ain't gonna front. I think he's an incredible performer from what I've what I've seen online, obviously. So you can vouch for that?
Yeah, he don't play no games. His live show it lives up to what it's supposed to be, as far as him being the entertainer. So I'll give him his props.
If you've enjoyed this segment from the New Old Heads podcast, make sure to join our live chat every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/newoldheadsnetwork. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. We also invite you to join our private Discord community at newoldheads.com/community.